I lived in the suburb, my husband and I, we lived in the suburb near Buffalo, New York. Everybody had their little lawns that you mowed, and then you have to put some stuff on the dandelions because they do kill the grass. No question about it. They have a way of spreading their leaves flat, and the grass gets choked. And nobody wants choked grass, and you don't want your neighbors to think that you have choked grass. And neighbors will protest if you do. So you don't have a chance to really look at a dandelion gone to seed. And then, of course, to either the wind blows it apart or you blow at it. We've done it as children. But I don't think I ever really looked. These amazing little parachutes. One is a miracle in itself. And here, I don't know how many there are in one of these globes. And it just floats on the wind and floats and floats. Doesn't go down right away with a thud. It's so light, so airy. And eventually it'll settle someplace. And maybe there'll be a new dandelion. Or maybe not. You don't know. But it's this miracle of just taking the time to look at something closely. We usually don't take the time. We don't have the time, or we don't think we have the time. And we rush past everything, always thinking what else we have to do, while we're doing something, already thinking of the next thing. Can we listen to all of that, to this inner restlessness for a moment? Maybe the only moment you have during the day is when you go to the bathroom. Close the door. Sit on the toilet. And you have a moment to be by yourself. Are we by ourselves, or are we already thinking again? Get this thing over with and rush, rush, rush. What are we rushing toward? What are we rushing away from? What is one moment without rushing? One moment. Not lots of moments, not the next moment or tomorrow, but now. The sound of the motor. The breathing. All kinds of body sensations. Don't have to be labeled. I'm labeling things so that we can be in communication with each other, but to oneself. If we notice how everything is labeled, first of all, everything first of all has to be noticed, seen, felt, heard, inside or out. And then maybe the question can arise, is that necessary? Does it have to be this way? Not it must not be this way, or it shouldn't be this way, but a gentle question. Does it have to be this way? You don't know the answer, but there is sort of a break in the continuum of rushing and having to and having not. A moment of break, a moment, what is the word? Coming to. That's an American word, I think. Coming to. Have you got it in Swedish? To come to come. A break, a stop in the flow of habit. And therefore some consciousness, some awareness of what's been happening. Are we here? There may have been lots of thoughts, but at this moment, those thoughts are gone, they're past. See them as such, past thoughts. And a moment of fresh breathing, fresh bird singing. Next thought here already. Associations with the birds or with who knows what. Now, I always say some words about authority because this work of sitting in front of people in a room that is fragrant with incense and sculpture, reminiscent if one has been doing Zen practice, of all that goes with it, the hierarchy of teachers and senior students, etc. It's very important to say something about authority. Not that it may go very far, because first of all, these programs that are in this body-mind have to come to light. We may say, oh, I'm not into authority, and don't see how much we are into authority. Never assume that you know anything about yourself. That's true. And watch it as you go. Let go of all what you knew and watch as you go. And it needs very subtle watching, because the movements of authority, creating authority, becoming authority, craving authority or hating authority, are all very deep. They have become part of our personality. So, let me say, for whatever it's worth, that I'm not here to create authority, to make myself into something of an authority, or to become authoritarian. Maybe that's a better word, because somebody once told me after a talk like this, I disagree with you. I come here, it was someplace else, I come here because I want to hear somebody who speaks with authority. Now that's a different use of the word, meaning I want to hear somebody who is really seems to be very sure of themselves, conviction, has conviction that this is so, energy, speaks from lots of experience. And if you use authority this way, well, that's not what I mean, because I do all of that. Speak from experience and with energy and stuff. But the authority I'm referring to is to try to impose on you anything. For you to believe, for you to repeat, without really seeing the depth of it yourself. That is what's happening. We go to lots of talks and retreats and workshops and our mind gets full and filled and fuller with concepts. About the void, about, I don't know where to start. So, and these words become authority to us, because somebody whom we think has a lot of authority, or who we give a lot of authority in our minds, has spoken these words, so they must be true. And the ability to repeat and to imitate is inexhaustible in human beings. We imitate and repeat without being aware of it. Or can there be a subtle waking up to that and questioning it? So, what is said here is not for the purpose of repeating it and imitating it and remembering it, but it is an offering to look for ourselves. That's all this is for. Either to look immediately together, or can't help remembering some things which make sense. It makes sense, but I still don't quite see it. Then it sort of sticks to the mind. Not because I want to remember it, but it doesn't let loose. What does this mean? To want to find out for oneself, not out of pride or a false sense of independence, but because we can't help needing to find the truth about ourselves and each other. There seems to be something in us that stirs at times to want to find the truth about ourselves. Not all of this make-believe stuff, this repeated stuff, adopted. So, if we don't misunderstand ourselves, I repeat, I'm not here to become your authority. And if we are in communication with each other and it looks as though this is what is going on for you, I'll tell you, I'll point it out, or I'll question it at least, because we can never be quite sure. Question it together. And if you detect in me some movement that you think I'm trying to establish authority, please let me know. I'll look at it, alone or with you. Because deep down from our childhood, where we were so surrounded by authorities, told what to do, made to follow, made to obey, that perpetuated itself in school and in church and in spiritual training centers. From all of that, there is an inbuilt belief in authority, that this is good for me, but also a rebellion against it. It's very subtle at times. And we're not here to rebel against each other, but to look together at all these unconscious movements of the mind, so that there may be some lifting of the clouds and some sunshine come through. It's there. So if we don't have this customary conventional relationship between teacher and student, because I do not see it this way at all, I have no image of myself as a teacher whatsoever. No image of you as students, or let alone my students. This to me sounds It gives me the goose pimples. So then what is our relationship? The mind may sort of scan around. I want to have some kind of a relationship. I could put my fingers on, get my teeth into. I don't know what our relationship is exactly. I've said all kinds of things in the past. One of love, one of friendship, one of respect. I like that one. Respect, meaning respect, seeing each other again. See you for what you are, see me for what I am this moment, without fixating it. The moment it's fixated, oh, this is what you are, oh, this is what I am, then we're stuck, then we're lost. Always respecting, not specting over and over, in the same way. Or we could just leave it open. We don't know what our relationship is, but we listen to each other. We talk to each other. We're quiet with each other. If you don't really know what you are, if that is wide open, everybody is wide open. It's all one wide openness. We don't need to relate to each other. That's already separate, me and you. Do you see that? At least intellectually. I relate to you as this and that. That's already comes out of the mode of separation. Can that mode give way to not knowing, not fixating, open listening? We will end here for today.